Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about California wildfires and mental health. Usually we just focus on property damage, injuries, loss of lives, and loss of employment, but never mental health. A lot of these survivors do experience mental health issues after a natural disaster. According to PLOS1, written in March 26, 2021, wildfires in California have been the most deadliest and destructive in recent years. 4 out of the 10 most destructive fires occurred in 2017 and 2018. One of the resources that was very difficult to access was mental health. Of course, there was always you know, monies, maybe a shelter, but nobody ever thought about how this natural disaster would have a mental health impact on these survivors. According to Behavior Sciences, written in September 2021, there was a study conducted between February and April. It showed that the rate of PTSD, depression, generalized anxiety was on the rise after these fires. This has been survivors that had went through the wildfires back in 2017, 2018, but this mental health issue lingers way after the fact of the event. I also found out that mental health disorders were on the rise due to these wildfires in California. According to the BMC Public Health, written in December 5th, 2022, there was a lot of these disasters were related to psych impacts. It all depended on the duration of the exposure, meaning like how long did it take for them to be evacuated? Were they evacuated immediately? Maybe it took a little bit longer depending on what the issue was and how soon help could get there. That made a big impact. And a lot of the damage done, a lot of these survivors would see the damage to their homes, the damage to their car, that they lost a lot of memorabilia that never could be replaced. So that did a lot of mental damage that they still have to deal with after the fact. According to Journal of Traumatic Stress, written in February 2021, the decline of employment also caused a lot of stress. There was not a lot of jobs out there. Some people might have lost their jobs because of the wildfires, because they lost everything. And so, it affected their employment. Loss of resources, no more income, health insurance, dental insurance, no clothing, food resources. If you don't have a job, you don't have money, then you can't eat. Basically, that it goes in that order. And a lot of the stressors that resulted from having the lack of these resources also created a lot of mental health issues. Some solutions that could come about, according to Counseling Psychology Quality, written in September 2020, there's support systems out there. Surprisingly, a religion support system was one of the biggest resources that some of these survivors would go to for community help. They looked forward to talking to the priest, or just having a little prayer with the congregation, kind of make them feel at ease and maybe things are gonna get better. Also, um, it ranged from friends and neighbors, all the community coming together, being there, being a support system, whether it would be emotional, financial, or even a place to stay, or maybe even providing some clothing or some resources such a ride to work, or maybe lending them a car. Um, according to anxiety stress coping article written in May 2012, another way of helping out, another resource helping out these survivors would be the communal coping, meaning the community created a group where everybody that has something, this same experience of going through a natural disaster, um, they got together and they talked about how they were feeling. They talked about, what they would do to help the stressors and the mental health, or where they could go to access some resources to help out with the depression, anxiety that this brought upon them. They also came together so they could do problem solving, meaning, give ideas of maybe what can be done to have more of a long-term support system for these survivors as far as mental health is concerned. In conclusion, I just feel like we need to focus more on mental health, as I feel that resources such as food, shelter, even monies or materialistic things, they're always not so much easy to come about, but people are more willing and, quickly to offer that help. And there's some resources that sometimes some states have readily for such things, but the most important one is mental health. I feel like we should be more big on having that resource available to the survivors, especially for a long-term period of time, because it's not something you forget in a matter of a few minutes or a few days. That was my presentation. Thank you very much.